Well, Pookrum talked about that in the whole 9 yards and stuff, whereas, okay, there's one aspect of that where the sister's trying to know herself or trying to get rid of age-old shit that she, from the society or whatever type thing. But then again, on the other hand, what Jewel Pookrum was alluding to was the same damn thing, and what the mystical side say is, it's not going to bring forth the healing energies not unless you have that opposite. The only way you're going to have a reaction to something is to have an opposite. You see what I'm saying? And we have learned to shun the opposite. You see what I'm saying? So you have to have an opposite. It is key. Well, let's look at it this way. I always talk about how the white boy, when he went up into Kemet, in Egypt, he was saying that the Egyptians this was the worst kind of religion they ever did, they ever studied. Well, it's the oldest. They finally got to something older than Christianity and this kind of shit here. And so they say it was the worst kind of thing because the Egyptians did not understand the religion because there was too many goddamn contradictions. And these arrogant bastards for let's say almost 70 years were saying that these motherfuckers here were neurotic, they got contradictions until Faulkner in the 50s. Faulkner figured it out that the contradictions that the Egyptians were doing in the religion was built in on purpose. The mistakes was built in on purpose. Because they understand that no leaf is alike, no tree is alike, nothing in nature is alike. Only thing that's always alike is what is man-made, which is artificial. So therefore that proves the whole thing based on opposites. It's based on opposites. Now, some person might say, well, what is the benefit to the opposite? Well, to a male, when you humble yourself to the female opposite and quit fighting against it. You understand what I'm saying? Quit fighting against it. And we don't know, it might be little idiosyncrasies that you can't understand, but in her mind, the motherfucker's logical. You know what I'm saying? Or why she gotta drive around the goddamn parking lot with 10,000 spaces just to find that one space close to the goddamn building. And then when she drives around a lot, all the spaces get filled up. You ever see some shit like this and all? Don't you park the motherfucking car. But she gotta get close to the goddamn door. And no, ain't no thing, but by the time you get back, all the shit is filled up, and she still ends up down parking in other spaces. But then again, on the other hand and stuff, it ain't got nothing to do with the logic. It's got something to do with the subconscious thing of what is her opposite. Now, it might be coming out in the parking lot, goddammit, and that's getting convenient. But ultimately, it's the opposite. You have to humble your goddamn self. Maybe it got something to do with the way she raised kids. Maybe it's got something to do with the way she have places to clean up after you. On the other fucking hand, the sister got to understand what is opposite with this motherfucker? Why is he doing that damn dumb shit? You understand what I'm saying? Why is he a zombie on Sunday? With the claws. You know what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? It's some ACC basketball and shit. But whatever the deal here is. My point here is, now, you don't have to humble yourself to the irrational aspect of what these crazy motherfuckers is doing. But you humble yourself to the opposite. It might, what you might be fussing about might be just plain asinine. But there's an underlying current where you just got to say, well, fuck it, baby, just do what you got to do. Because I know that there's an opposite of under that shit. You see what I'm saying? Now, it ain't registered up here in the physical world. This is some crazy shit. You understand what I'm saying? But there's an opposite to the male while he left his goddamn pants in the middle of the floor. Now, that's some asinine shit. He could have hung up his goddamn pants. But there's something subconscious that he's the opposite. You did not marry him because you wanted a motherfucker like you. You understand what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? It's opposites. And that is what I'm told. It's the same thing why they say. Sisters, now I know it's pathological. That sisters like people, like guys that don't give in to whatever. And sometimes that can be goddamn detrimental. That could also be a form of self-mutilation and all kind of shit like that and stuff. You got this nigga Lord over you. We're not talking about that plan, but we're still trying to say there's something underlying about having something that's different from your ass. You understand what I'm saying? Something that's different. You see where I'm coming from? The opposites. And not the opposites and all. And I'm going to let me give you another example, which is good now also. When you go to a spiritual level, you find out, past the spiritual level, that flaws become appealing. You understand what I'm saying? Now I can get flaws become appealing. You see what I'm saying? Because you go to another level and stuff. So it's actually the fall, especially if you got a cookie cutter type shit. Because like what we're saying, they're saying that a lot of impotence is going on now. It's based on pornography in this particular aspect. Not necessarily based on the sex act. Hey, that's some good freaky shit. Not that. What they're saying is that they got men that would rather jack off than to go be with their wife. And they say the reason why he is, they don't understand that pornography is just a modeling agency. They have gone out, they've gone and picked 10 of the perfect women in their view of what is perfect, of whatever their standard beauty. The perfect size, perfect everything. Now let's get the amateur video. You ever seen them shits? The amateur shit? It's an experience. Shit some other mail in. What? That's a whole other goddamn story. These motherfuckers, they must got straight out of church's chicken. Girls from the hood, you seen that shit? Y'all know what the fuck I'm talking about. They must got these motherfuckers straight from up under the grease. I mean, this is what they call bust up niggas. Just bust up. You might see all kind of shit, that amateur shit you see. But I'm talking about the premium shit. Where they go and they get a modeling agency, and what they don't realize is no woman actually looks like that in mass. And they got a modeling agency, and they got all of them looking a certain way on a porno thing. You see what I'm saying? No woman looks like that in mass and stuff. So what happens is you tap into an archetype when you don't see that in the bed. You see what I'm saying? You'd rather jack your dick than to go in there and screw your wife. And so they're saying it leads to impotence. Not necessarily based on the pornographic act. You see what I'm saying? But the way they do shit is still that same standard of beauty, the way the white man got that cookie cutter shit going down. You see what I'm saying? And the cookie cutter shit, whereas all of them got the same bill, same everything. You see what I'm saying? That kind of thing like that, no. Now, just to go off in this thing, what I'm trying to say here is we're losing ourselves because we're trying to find out why do we like the opposite. And we're trained in actuality you need to rebel against it. I'm not talking about abuse. I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about humbling yourself, especially humbling yourself to shit that it's minor, but it get on your goddamn nerves. And it's just that they different. You know what I'm saying? Like they say, like why the hell they gotta take 10 years to tell you something, and you be like, why don't you just get to the goddamn story? You know, come on, goddamn. You know, all y'all motherfuckers, you might sit there and you might breathe. But in your mind, you be like, can you get to the end of this shit and get to the point? You know what I'm saying? Before we have to tell the family tree. But the whole concept here is to humble yourself to the opposite. And that's the whole thing based on the alpha male opposites. You see what I'm saying at all? Now, I'm quite sure the brothers, they got a lot of shit that you talk to the girls about how fucked up the brothers are. You see what I'm saying? And when the sisters call me, some of the shit be fucked up too. I be like, that's some fucked up shit that nigga doing. And don't be nothing like no. I'm just saying, even just the most minute idiosyncrasies of some of these niggas and stuff like that. But it's the opposites, and that's what I'm saying. That's the key here.